It's classic book talk time. My heart is a traitor, the boy said to the alchemist when he had paused to rest the horses. It doesn't want me to go on. That makes sense, the alchemist answered. Naturally, it is afraid that in pursuing your dream, you might lose everything you've won. Well, then why should I listen to my heart? Because you will never again be able to keep it quiet. Even if you pretend not to have heard what it tells you, it will always be there inside you, repeating to you what you are thinking about life and about the world. You mean I should listen even if it's treasonous? Treason is a blow that comes unexpectedly. If you know your heart well, it will never be able to do that to you, because you'll know its dreams and wishes and will know how to deal with them. You will never be able to escape from your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say. That way, you'll never have to fear an unanticipated blow. The boy continued to listen to his heart as they crossed the desert. He came to understand its dodges and tricks and to accept it as it was. He lost his fear and forgot about his need to go back to the oasis because one afternoon his heart told him that it was happy. Even though I complain sometimes, it said, it's because I'm the heart of a person, and people's hearts are that way. People are afraid to pursue their important dreams because they feel that they don't deserve them, or that they'll be unable to achieve them. We, their hearts, become fearful just thinking of loved ones who go away forever, or of moments that could have been good but weren't, or for treasures that might have been found but were forever hidden in the sands. Because when these things happen, we suffer terribly. My heart is afraid that it will have to suffer, the boy told the alchemist one night as they looked up at the moonless sky. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams, because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity. Every second of the search is an encounter with God, the boy told his heart. When I have been truly searching for my treasure, every day has been luminous, because I know that every hour was a part of the dream that I would find it. When I've been truly searching for my treasure, I've discovered things along the way that I never would have seen had I not had the courage to try things that seemed impossible for a shepherd to achieve. So his heart was quiet for an entire afternoon. That night the boy slept deeply, and when he awoke, his heart began to tell him things that came from the soul of the world. It said that all people who were happy have God within them, and that happiness could be found in a grain of sand from the desert, as the alchemist had said, because the grain of sand is a moment of creation, and the universe has taken millions of years to create it. Everyone on earth has a treasure that awaits them, his heart said. We, people's hearts, seldom say much about those treasures because people no longer want to go in search of them. We speak of them only to children. Later, we simply let life proceed in its own direction towards its own fate. But, unfortunately, very few follow the path laid out for them, the path to their personal legends and to happiness. Most people see the world as a threatening place, and because they do, the world turns out, indeed, to be a threatening place. So we, their hearts, speak more and more softly. We never stop speaking, but we begin to hope that our words won't be heard. We don't want people to suffer because they don't follow their hearts. Why don't people's hearts tell them to continue to follow their dreams? The boy asked the alchemist. Because that's what makes a heart suffer most, and hearts don't like to suffer. From then on, the boy understood his heart. He asked it, please never stop speaking to him. He asked that when he wandered far from his dreams, his heart press him and sound the alarm. The boy swore every time he heard the alarm, he would heed its message. That night, he told all of this to the alchemist, and the alchemist understood that the boy's heart had returned to the soul of the world. So what do I do now? The boy asked. Continue in the direction of the pyramids, said the alchemist, and continue to pay heed to the omens. Your heart is still capable of showing you where the treasure is. Is that the one thing I still need to know? No, the alchemist answered. What you still need to know is this. Before a dream is realized, the soul of the world tests everything that was learned along the way. It does this not because it is evil, but so that we can, in addition to realizing our dreams, master the lessons we've learned as we've moved toward that dream. That's the point at which most people give up. It's the point at which, as we say in the language of the desert, one dies of thirst just when the palm trees have appeared on the horizon. Every search begins with beginner's luck, and every search ends with the victors being severely tested. The boy remembered an old proverb from his country. It said that the darkest hour of the night came just before the dawn. And that is a selection from The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It was written back in 1988, so it's another contemporary classic. It's very hard to describe. It has some poetic elements, but it's usually described by even the author himself as a fable. A fable would be something that's kind of along the lines of a fairy tale, but instead of necessarily having a moral lesson, it might just be a metaphor. And in this case, it is a large metaphor. It's sort of a journey of self-discovery. There's also a lot of spiritual type mystical sort of elements to it. It seems to draw on some references from Judeo-Christian belief systems. But I think beyond all of that, it really is about following your dreams, following your heart. And I think it's got something for everybody, regardless of belief systems. Anyway, it's not for everybody because it is not a straightforward plot. It has a more meandering plot, and it seems to be more about making sure that these like metaphors that the author wants to make sure are taught, like life lessons that are taught, like he wants to make sure that those are in the text. So it doesn't necessarily follow strictly the usual structure that a novel follows. Anyway, I hope you give it a chance.